We fight, but we fall. Manchester City 3, Manchester United 1 in the Manchester Derby. Welcome to the United Hotspot. Here is the match reaction of our hard, painful loss against Manchester City. And certainly, there's a lot to reflect on. Whereas we lost this game, capitulated in the second half, I felt like there is quite a few things, a few positives we can take home from this game. And for me, here are the key lessons we've learned from that game. First of all, for the first time in a long time, Eric Ten Hag had a game plan. We've been praying for these guys, and for me, it's no shock, it's not surprising that Manchester United lose a 3-1 to this Manchester City in the state we are in. But for me, the fact that we had such a game plan, a 4-3-2-1 formation, nothing like Eric Ten Hag has played before. I was for him parking the midfield. I was saying it here. My approach would have been a 3-5-2, a 3-4-3, but boy, he did it even better. For me, the first approach that I saw, the first half, the first stance of the game, the reason we managed the game and we were able to catch them on the counter is because we clearly had a game plan, and the goal we scored was a result of that game plan. We are so organized, we are compact in the middle, even if they had balls with Doku in the wide areas and Foden at times drifting wide. I thought we were able to come out and try to reduce the gap between the wide areas and our goal. I thought for me there was a good game plan that we brought, which was the perfect game plan against a team like Manchester City. Come, respect them; they will pass the ball more than you, but at least be compact in the middle and don't allow them so many spaces. So even if they enjoyed most of the possession, yes, they had so many chances, but we were too compact and we did not allow them to easily beat us. For me, that was brilliant. I love that we could counter-attack. That is true. The counter-attacking approach worked well. We were counter-attacking. Andre Onana, for me, is the thing. He had another very good game, by the way. Never mind us losing. Well, the second goal from the one from Foden, the second, could have been perhaps avoided because it wasn't the best of shots. But again, I think by and large in the first half, Andre Onana kept us in the game. Good saves with these one-on-1v1s. But you see, the thing is, if Man City attacks you like that, eventually they are going to get the pinholes and score the goals. But the issue for me with Andre Onana is for the third goal they conceded. Andre Onana at times, he keeps starting the ball to the wrong person. In a tight situation, we have four blue shirts around a player like Victor Lindelof. He's on the left. He's not a natural left-footed player. But Onana, instead of kicking the ball away, he starts the ball to him because he's so fascinated and confused with the whole play from the back. Eric Ten Hag approach. But you play from the back, you should know when to play from the back. You don't pass the ball to a player who is not confident when he's close to your box with so many smart Man City players around them. That's why they forced. I think it was Lindelof who he passed the ball to. Lindelof gives the ball to Amrabat, and Amrabat again was totally off. He was probably had not yet warmed up properly. He had just been introduced on the pitch, and boom, could have been his first touch. An error, and you're punished. You're always going to be punished by players like Haaland, like in such a situation. For me, I blame Andre Onana for that third goal, for his decision. Whereas he had a good first half, he could have been one of our better performers if you go by the first half. Perhaps in the first half he was our best player. I think his decision making, and of course his pass is the reason we got that Marcus Rashford goal. His counter, he initiated the counter. But for me, at times he makes the wrong decision, especially when it comes to playing from the back. He can pass the ball to a player. If you give that such a ball to Kobe, I would understand because Kobe has got the confidence to scan and stay with the ball and see people around him, but can keep the ball. But to these flat-footed players who struggle with the ball, there are so many sky blue shirts around. I thought Onana invited that goal on himself, the third goal. He will look at it, they will reflect on it, and they will feel pain. Then the other thing that I observed in that game is whereas we came and had a good game plan and we tried to execute it, especially in the first half, I thought we veered off it in the second stanza. I thought we veered off the game plan in the second stanza, and that's when we disorganized ourselves. Where I think we are trying, Eric Ten Hag was trying to get a goal. I think he became a bit excited because we started creating pinholes in the middle, and that's the ones they exploited for the second goal. We created the spaces in the middle. We are not as compact as we should have been because of the mistakes we started making. So we should have stuck to our game plan. For me, that should have been an important thing. We needed to stick to our game plan. Probably, of course, such a game plan when you're just chasing the ball is always going to take so much energy and burn so much calories from you. But I mean, this was Man City, and we expected a fight. The other observation, a key one, is perhaps we could have. I think for me, the turning point of the game was the moment when they denied us a foul, a clear foul on Marcus Rashford, and they score on the opposite end. Phil Foden scores the first goal. At that point, against a team that has been dominating, you're definitely, and take nothing away from Phil Foden, you can't blame Onana. It was a beautiful take. It was just a beautiful take. But for me, there was a foul against Marcus Rashford. And you see, if you don't get that foul and you concede, already Eric Ten Hag got a yellow card because of his response to that. It just kills the morale of such a game. One simple moment in such a high intensity game is always going to shift the moods and the morale, and everything will fall south for you for everyone. So for me, I thought things fell south the moment we considered that goal. At that point, we just knew more were going to come. So for me, those are the things I can note. But if I'm to rate the player performance, and whereas it's always good to rate player performances after us winning, I think for me, whereas we lost, I won't go back and bury my head down and say this was a humiliating loss. I think we gave it away. We're a weaker team than Man City right now, but at least we came and tried to play football with respect, with order, with a plan. So for me, I would give and most of the good marks will come mostly with the until before the 50th minute when we considered. That's most where I get most of my minute my marks for the ratings. Yes, when we capitulated, there was a lot of disorganization that followed that. But for me, for the 50 minutes, I would say Andrew Nana had performed brilliantly well. I would have given Andrew Nana at that time 7.5 out of 10. He kept us in the game for so long. But across 90 minutes, and that's where it matters most, I would give Onana 6 out of 10. Then Diogo Dallo, quite a baller, had good moments, had moments where I was running in and passing the ball and doing step overs and flicks. He's getting confident by the day. I think our backline, I think I'll just give the entire backline their marks as a unit. I think I would give our backline a decent 6 out of 10 for how they tried to contain that pressure. I mean, they were fighting, even with Johnny Evans at the start, even Kambwala when he came on. I thought, yes, we considered the goals, but this is City with these brilliant players, the Phil Fodens, and they formed their own with Haaland, where they were always going to find a way of scoring. But our backline tried, I think, to be honest. Then the holding midfielders, the guys who started until the 50th minute, were impeccable. Kobe Maino, Casemiro, and Scott McTominay, yes, had good moments, like also in the game. Bruno, all these guys, I think, put in the shift until the disorganization when it all came crumbling down on us. So I would give our midfielders a 6.5 out of 10. But if I'm to rate them in the first 50 minutes, I would give them 7 out of 10. I thought they did impeccably well in understanding and executing the game plan. They deserve the credit. Then again, in such a game, I don't understand why Eric Ten Hag had to bring on his Anthony. I think for me, Anthony in such a game will not give you anything. What was he going to do? I mean, you need to bring a player who is more confident on the ball and hope to get a penalty or something. But anyway, I thought Ten Hag's game management wasn't that great at the end. But it was Man City. Again, it was Man City. Lastly, Marcus Rashford, the bullet he scored, the scream of a goal. He's a big game player, isn't he? He has scored now 30 goals against the big six in his career, 6 goals against Man City. So amazing, run there. And of course, when he scores such screamers, debates will start flying. Should we keep him or not? But for me, these screamers are for us to see more value in him as we go into the market, that we should price him more based on. For me, I like it when he puts on good performances. I think for me, and scoring such a goal, it was a good reaction from the whole media talk and all. It was a good reaction, being the first goal. He knows how to react when there has been a storm on him, doesn't he? I think for me, it is a good way to react, but I still think we need to sell him. So that was it. For me, there are some positives to take from the game. And I believe if we build on this, we can go into the next game think with our heads high and believing that we can perform better. My name is Webb. This is the United Sport. Subscribe, and I'll be back later.